hate the idea of war, and I can't wait for it to begin. Every soldier in Kuwait feels the same way, even though we never say so. Never, in fact, talk about it. Every day, as we inch closer to the inevitable but still unknown date when we will charge across the berm, we grow more certain that it is a terrible idea, and grow more anxious to start. Partly because we want to set out before the horrifying heat of summer starts to simmer, partly because we just want to get it over with, but mostly, deep down, we are afraid it may not happen. And even though we don't want it to happen, we've grown to count on it. We are, however reluctant, soldiers. And we have trained and trained, lived and eaten and slept 100 pretend wars. And we are desperately ready to commence with a real one, however much we dread it. Mr. Wilder and I are riding in the back of Blue 4, a Bradley commanded by Sergeant First Class Birdsong, on our way into Samawa. We spend a long time lurching down roads, over bridges, around corners. I try to listen to the radio, but they're playing 3 nets over the same speaker, and I can't make heads or tails of what's being said. I look through the sole tiny window in the rear, but I keep bumping my head on the ceiling and face on the glass. Eventually, I learn to just sit down and wait. The road narrows and weaves through clumps of palm trees, making sharper and sharper turns as we go along. Then we stop, in a long strand of humming engines and pale warning lights. The entire squadron is strung out down the road, waiting for the final pieces to fall into place so we can get the hell out of here. Then the shooting starts. I expect us to move out and regroup at the next checkpoint, but apparently Sabre 6 wants to nip this in the bud because we don't budge. Instead, we let loose with an unholy barrage of suppressive fire, 50 cal and coax tracers razing the fields, while our own mortars pummel the tree lines. All of our weapons are going flash, bang, tracers and rockets and cluster bombs. Surely they are terrifying the enemy. But our enemy is invisible. All we can hear is the rattle and whiz of machine gun fire and the boom of their mortars. All we can do is lie here and hope that is a distant whiz and not a close whiz. And that mortars feel like that deep in your chest when they are far away, not close up. Lying on the ground makes me realize I still hadn't slept for more than a few minutes in almost a week. And I catch myself nodding off, even with bullets flying overhead. I stop doing that when the jets arrive, laying bombs down to the south. 2 tremendous explosions that rattle our intestines. There's only sporadic gunfire after that. And we lie here on the cold ground, wondering how tomorrow will come, if today never ends. At night, the sky lights up with artillery. We are shelling Hilla. We are shelling Karbala. We are shelling Baghdad. Since we paused, the artillery has caught up with us. So after dark, we watch the streaks of fire thrusting up into the sky and listen for the cool free fall back down to earth. And then see the flash. And the boom as it pummels the cities like the lightning, then the thunder of a rainstorm. Shelling cleaves me in 2, one side shaken, knowing each flash and boom means more innocent civilians dying in their homes. The other side stilled, knowing it also means less of the enemy likely to shoot at me. It soothes my nerves and throws my cowardice and hypocrisy into stark relief. I thank God I am not an artilleryman with the blood of those townspeople on my hands. I can just sit here, innocently, and watch, picturing the Fedayeen, Republican Guard getting annihilated, erasing the pictures of the dying civilians before they can come up. So much for honor and fair play. So much for the ancient warrior codes. Die, motherfuckers, die. I say to all of them. You Not me. Not me.